Hi everybody, my name is Matt and this is my basement project. As you can see, this is a poured concrete wall foundation, not a block wall foundation. Makes a big difference in how you fix a crack. Most poured foundations will crack in time. The ground shifts and the building settles. Whatever the cause, you need to keep an eye on it. And if the crack is damp, or worse, if it's actually leaking groundwater into your basement, you've got to take action. So I checked out mybasementproject.com, took a look at the crack injection system, see if I could save a bunch of money by doing this myself. They have a single kit which is good for about 10 feet of damage, but I have several cracks in these walls and they all need to be filled. So I ordered the Marflex Pro Kit. The Pro Kit uses polyurethane foam to inject into the crack and fill it completely. Unlike other methods of crack repair, polyurethane flows thoroughly into the crack, fills it, and bonds to the cement, staying slightly flexible over time so that even if the foundation moves again, the polyurethane will move with it and keep the crack from happening again. As you can see, this crack is about 8 feet long and less than 1/8 of an inch wide at its widest. It's perfect for injection. Let's start with safety first. Place a drop cloth on the floor in front of your work area. Trust me, it will help in the cleanup after we're done. I'm going to put on the safety glasses and gloves from the Pro Kit. I'll be using the wire brush to remove all this flaking paint and concrete from about 2 inches on either side of the crack. So I start at the top of the crack with a brush, like I said, removing loose concrete, this stuff called effervescence, paint and dirt on each side of the crack. Now, the surface area must be dry for proper installation of these injection ports and the surface seal material. If this had been wet, I'd have to wait a few days, or I could use a hot air gun, hair dryer, or compressed air to dry the surface. These surface ports allow the injection material to flow into and fill the crack. So I'm going to install them first, right across the crack. I will need to set several of these, and there's a formula for figuring out how far apart they should be. Set them the same distance apart as the basement wall is thick, usually about 8 inches. I'll mark the locations of the ports on the wall now. Put the quick-set surface seal and port adhesive tubes into the injection gun, like this. Remove the cap and squeeze out a small amount of the material into a mixing cup. Mix the material to a nice, even color. Here's the 2-part injection port. Detach the cap before applying the adhesive. Apply a small amount of adhesive around the port, but be careful not to block the port opening, or so much that it will block the crack under it. Place the first port on the crack at the point where it comes closest to the floor. Now, I do this for each port up the crack until I have all of them set. Watch. Now, I'm going to apply the surface seal. It's the same material as the port adhesive. It's applied over the entire crack, starting from the bottom and moving up. I'm applying it right over the bases of each port and making sure I get a good seal with the wall. Put it on thick. It should end up about 1/8 of an inch thick and about 2 inches on each side of the crack. Do that all the way up, like this. Here's a note. If the crack you're repairing goes above the soil grade on the exterior, you'll have to add this surface seal to the outside wall, too. Now, find the port caps and get them ready. Put the injection foam cartridge into the gun. Note, it is the 2-part polyurethane resin that is mixed with this nozzle. Put it together like this. Before you inject the first port, squeeze out all the air and get the material to the end of the mixing nozzle. Start from the bottom port and attach the injection gun like this, and begin the low pressure injection of the urethane foam. Continue injection slowly until you see the product coming out of the port right above, like this. Now this can take from a minute to several minutes. Be patient. Here's the key to a successful repair. Take it slow. Use slow, low-pressure injections so that the crack gets filled completely. Now, remove the gun from the lowest port and put the port cap on. This keeps the material from coming right back out. Then move the gun up to the next port and do it all again. Right up the wall, like this. Now we let it cure before the next step. Overnight is best. Take a break. Okay, the crack injection foam has cured, so I have a couple of choices. I can leave it just the way it is, paint right over this surface seal, or I can remove all the material using a putty knife, scraping it off right along with these ports, right off the wall. This leaves the crack completely injected and the wall ready to paint. Well, that's it. You've seen my basement project. I'm gonna finish cleaning this one up and then on to my next crack.